Hello there, world of YouTube. This is me, SwimmsterGal, coming to you guys with another video. What you see here are me just taking two pieces of scrapbook paper, and we're gonna go ahead and measure out a Happynichi, FauxBonichi, whatever you would like to call it, type of planner. Now you can go ahead and buy these already made. They're not available at my local Michael's, didn't run into them at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. So instead of like, ordering one and paying like $8 for shipping, I was like, I'll just make my own. So what I just did is I chose two different types of scrapbooks papers. I chose like a pink one, like the one that you see on the top, and that little purple one with the flower. What you're gonna see me do is again measure out the cover sizes that I would like to use so we can get them laminated, and they'll be kind of just like the Happy Planner covers where you can flip them over and you'll have a dual cover per se, where you have two designs you can choose from, so you can kind of easily switch in and out and give your planner a new look whenever you feel the need to change things up. Here I'm just taking my cutter and I'm going in and making the final cuts. And making sure that they are even. And right here, when you see me cutting the edge, it's like I'm just cutting the edges so I can try to preserve as much of the little flower design that's on the bottom corner for the cover. Now, to make it easier on yourself, when you're going to cut the second page, just use one of the first pieces that you cut and then just kind of like sketch her out, and then you get to cutting. Now here, what you see me doing with the consistent flipping back and forth of the items is just me trying to figure out what I want to be the front, what I want to be the back, how I want things to be laid out. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, this is my second attempt filming this video, because the first time I did it, I completely messed up the measurements. When I hole punched the cover pages, I messed up. They weren't even. It was no bueno. And I had done 3 covers, so 3 of them were like all wrong and messed up. So this time you're gonna see me can like flip back and forth between like all the designs and stuff, and like just kind of overthink everything, because I was just like, I cannot mess this up again. So again, after you do tape runner, you can also do glue stick, but I feel like glue stick is a little bit more messy. You just want to make sure that you line them up the best you can. If you have any excess on any of the sides, you can always just kind of take your pair of scissors and just trim it, so it's like no real biggie. And again, I'm just going to mimic the same thing for the other side, where using the tape runner to kind of set the base and then lining them up as nice and evenly as I can, just to make sure that we don't have too much excess and too much stuff that we have to cut off. Okay, you just see me kind of moving the paper and then kind of flipping it back. So I'm like, I gotta make sure it's what I want and it's the right way this time. And there we go. Now I got a corner rounder just to kind of do the edges. This is not the best corner rounder. I'm not gonna say I highly recommend it. It does get the job done, so you know, take it as it is, I would say. But yeah, it's not the best corner punch. Alright, so I believe right here I'm getting closer to actually punching it. So I'm taking a half sheet. I got these on sale at Michael's. They usually retail for $5. I got it for like $2, so it's 40% off. So easy. Gotta love those sales. Now what I did wrong the last time was I went based off of the measurements that are on the actual hole punch, but that really messed them up. It didn't make it even. So this time I'm just kind of like trying to figure out the top and the bottom have a similar distance, if not exact distance from each other, so all the hole punches are actually centered. So as you can see, I'm not lining the hole punch up to either the top or the bottom line. I'm just kind of like lining it up to where I had made those 2 marks just to make it easier. Now I am pre-punching it just because this puncher doesn't fare too well against laminate. I mean, it does get the job done, don't get me wrong, but this is the first time I'm doing a double layer cover where it's, again, you can do alternate sides, so you have more than one design for yourself. Usually if I'm just doing like a one-sided cover, I'll go ahead and laminate and then hole punch, but in this case I pre-punched. So here I am just taking out the laminator sheets. You can fit both of these quite nicely in there if you're looking for really thin edges. You just have to keep in mind that when it comes to cutting it down or trying to, you know, mimic sorry, trying to get all the lines together, you might have a harder time getting that really thin line, because if you cut too close to the little air bubble surrounding thing, your cover won't last as long. Now right here is just the Amazon basic laminator, and I believe I'm using 3M lamination sheets. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those out. Again, this is one of the other things that was a little bit more on the time consuming side, because I was trying to get that really thin edge that I was mentioning to you guys earlier, but you know, we get her done. Now originally my idea was to punch the holes with the lamination sheet on, but since I had you know, the laminator has like a slight edge to it, it adds I guess you can say, when it presses up against the back of the hole punch, it wasn't lining up with the punches I already made. So I mean, it's an easy fix. I went in and I tried to thin out the lamination side or where the hole punches are at, but that didn't really work. So I just had to, you know, you'll see in a little bit, I had to get just a regular hole puncher, and I just punched where I had already pre-punched, and then I just cut out the little things so that we can get them into the rings. Again, this is probably the best way of doing it, because the Happy Puncher hole punch is not made for lamination. They even tell you not to use it with laminators, but you know, people be breaking the rules. I know I be breaking the rules, so you know, we just gotta make sure, I'm just letting you know, don't do it at home unless you're willing to risk the integrity of your hole punch. And that's pretty much all you need. I bought these rings at Michael's, got them for $4. You know, and all you gotta do is just stick your little covers on there, and you've already made yourself a notebook, I guess you could say. But yeah, these are the FauxBonichi type of measurements. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more, and stay tuned for the next video. See you later.